Hello, my name is Kashonda Payne. I am here to tell you, or I'll tell everyone about the day leading to the birth of my daughter. It was a beautiful and sunny Wednesday morning in June 2010 when I awoke at 9 o'clock to minor back and lower abdomen pain. I was nearly in my 8th month of pregnancy with my first daughter, and I was due for a regular scheduled doctor's appointment later that afternoon. So I really wasn't concerned about contacting the doctor at the very moment. I started my day with a light breakfast with my cousin Chantel. We went out to eat, had a wonderful time, and after we ate breakfast, we ran a few errands and we enjoyed the downtown streets of Charleston, South Carolina. And as time winded, it was time for me to go to my appointment. And normally at my doctor's appointment, my mother-in-law and my mom would accompany me. My husband, or fiance at the time, he was serving overseas in Afghanistan. He is in the U.S. Air Force. And so, as I stated, my mom and my mother-in-law and also my cousin who was with me from the earlier part of the day, we went to the doctor's appointment, and when I was called back to the appointment, of course my mom and everyone else, they went with me inside the room. Everyone was all excited about the birth of my first child. And I spoke with the doctor after he did his review, and he noticed that there were indications that the baby was going to come early. And with that information, my mom and I, we thought it would be a great idea for us to pack, go to Walmart and get some belongings so that I would be able to pack my bags and prepare myself should I have to make an emergency run to the hospital. So we did that. We went and picked up a few things and we headed home. And normally, before I go home, I like to visit my family, my grandparents, my aunt, because we all live in a close neighborhood. It's my grandmother's house, my uncle's, my aunt's house, and then across the road it's my house and another aunt. So I spent the rest of that afternoon enjoying time with my family, and we sat around, we joked, had fun, and discussed things. And after leaving my grandmother's house, I went and visited my aunt. And at that time, it was me and my cousin Chantel, who was with me from the earlier part of the day. Her sister was there also, her sister and her mom. And we sat down, we enjoyed eggs and rice, which is a down south favorite. I have always remember that, eggs and rice with a cup of orange Kool-Aid. So I sat there, enjoyed my meal, and everything was great. And then I noticed that the pain came back. So with signs of pain returning, I thought it was time for me to go across the road and head home and prepare myself for the end of the night. So I took my shower and tried to relax and gather things, and as I went to lay down in bed, it seemed like every time I would doze off to sleep, I felt the sharp pain. So it was just me and my mom in the house at the time. Well, that's all, yeah, at the time. And so I woke her and I was like, Mom, I'm having some real bad pain. So she got up and she rubbed my stomach, and she was like, oh, you're going to be fine. The doctor said it is signs that the baby's going to come early, but it's just turning pain. Her version of turning pain. So she did what she had to do, rub my belly, and I tried to went back to sleep and realized that that really wasn't working. So I decided to phone the doctor and let him know what was going on. Unfortunately, my doctor was not on call, so I spoke with the on-call physician at the time, and he reviewed my files, and he saw that I had visited the office earlier today, and there were a few signs that the baby would arrive early, but I should just take some time and relax and just stay calm. So I took his advice and tried to went back to bed, and and realized that things weren't getting any better. They were actually getting worse. So I decided to give him a call back and let him know I couldn't bear the pain anymore. So I packed up, well, made an attempt to pack up, woke my mom up, and tried to prepare myself to leave the house so that we could head out to the hospital. And just as I was walking down the steps, I felt a sharp pain. And fortunately, my aunt, who lived across the road, the same aunt house that I was at earlier that day, she was at the house at the time when we were heading out to the hospital, and she was behind me when I felt that sharp pain. And I was like, oh my gosh, the baby's coming. So she quickly picked me up and turned me around. We went back in the house, and a few minutes later, I delivered my first daughter, my first child. Her name is Taylor. She was born a month early, weighing 2 pounds 13 ounces. Fortunately, she didn't have any medical complications other than a small size, and I'm just here to say that the day that my daughter was born, it was truly a day I will never ever forget, and I am so grateful and thankful to have her in my life to this day. I also would like to show you guys a picture of my daughter. This is her at nearly 7 months old. We were at Chuck E. Cheese. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was her first visit. And like I said, I truly am thankful to have her in my life, and like I said, it will be a day that I will never forget. And I truly would also like to thank my audience for taking the time to listen out to my story. And if anyone have any questions in regards to the experience, please feel free to ask. Okay, with no signs of any questions, I would like to once again thank you for taking the time to listen to my story, and I wish you guys the best as you go throughout the remainder of your day. Thanks, and talk to you guys later. Wow. Alright, stop.